Good afternoon, my people. What is going on? It is your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome each and every one of you to episode 150. Buck and a half. We doing this thing over here. Warren Buffett is on one. But before we get into that, I got to practice the attitude of gratitude and say thank you to each and every one of you who are here with me as I stream live across the Wealth Our Way Facebook page and the Wealth Our Way Network YouTube page. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube page ASAP. Also want to say bang and give the Wild Nation salute to all the members of Wealth Our Way Nation who watch this program pre-recorded overnight, over the weekend, wherever they can get 15 minutes of financial literacy in, and a heartfelt how are you to the good folks on the Life 101 platform who listen to the audio recording of this very here program. I hope you cats had an amazing weekend. I had some drama at the crib last week, which is why I couldn't do last week's Thursday episode. I don't know if you guys noticed how close attention y'all pay, but my ceiling used to have popcorn in the ceiling. Now there's no popcorn. The lady who lives above me had a leak in her place. It leaked down through my place. That was why my popcorn kept falling off the ceiling, and I couldn't understand why, but the whole situation had to be taken down and replaced. Last week, my place looked like a war zone. It was plastic over everything. There was no work getting done on Thursday. I had to work from Panera Bread, and I couldn't do the broadcast safely and soundly from Panera, so we're back at it right now. Here's what I want to talk about. So last week, I believe it was Tuesday's broadcast, I told you guys I was on my way to having a whole Bitcoin. I was so excited. I think when that this show you how quickly things change. When that broadcast aired a week ago, I want to say I had 0.64 or 0.67 Bitcoin. I was like 2/3 the way to one whole Bitcoin. Well, if you have been paying any attention to the cryptocurrency market or the general stock market, woo, things are going down, down, down. Why do I smile when things are going down? Because unlike the vast majority of everyone who thinks about investing, I have a long-term approach. And I see times like this as buying opportunities. When I am looking back at my portfolio, when I retire 10, 15, 20 years from now, I will know it was times like this that allowed me to build wealth because I ain't scared, as the saying goes, and I am continuing to dollar cost average. I'm also employing a couple of other techniques. So dollar cost average happens all the time. We always are dollar cost averaging. The other thing that I'm doing is called averaging down. Whenever I see a significant dip in any of the assets that I love, I buy more of it in addition to my dollar cost average. And then the third thing that I do, which you got to have some bread to do this most of the time, is called tax loss harvesting. Tax loss harvesting, give you a quick example. I don't want to blow your mind with tax loss harvesting. I'll do a whole webinar on it if you guys want. When you own something, and I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example. If you own one Bitcoin and you bought one Bitcoin when it was worth 50,000 United States dollars, and today your Bitcoin is worth 30,000 United States dollars, but you still want to own Bitcoin forever. If you have 30,000 US dollars, today you would buy a second Bitcoin. Now you got two of them, but you don't really want that much of your money tied up in Bitcoin moving forward. It's more than what you would normally allocate to Bitcoin, but you have a strategy in mind. You buy the second Bitcoin today. You hold them both for 30 days because that is the law. In order to realize a loss, you have to be at risk for 30 days. 30 days later, you sell the first Bitcoin that you had that cost you 50,000. Now, a couple things could have happened over 30 days. It could have continued to go down. It could have stayed the same price. It may even have started to creep back up. Let's say that it did each example. It creeped back up. It went from the 30 to 40. Your first Bitcoin is still down. You bought it at 50. It's trading at 40. The second Bitcoin that you bought at 30, it's up. Great job. The law allows you to sell that first Bitcoin and realize that $10,000 loss and carry it so that you can deduct it for tax purposes. Now, if Bitcoin went down even further, bigger loss. If it stayed flat, the original loss we talked about. So what I am about to do is double down and tax loss harvest on some of my portfolio, because for the year I'm down about $11,000. So I'm going to have to put a significant amount of money into my portfolio, but right now the money's sitting in cash doing absolutely nothing for me. So I'd put it in the portfolio. 30 days later, I'd sell my original coins. I would take my loss. Let's just say it stays at $10,000. And 30 days from now, when I'm talking to you, would have the same portfolio plus a $10,000 loss to write off at the end of the year. It's a great thing. But hope that didn't blow your mind too much. Like I said, if you guys are interested in having a whole tutorial on tax loss harvesting, let me know. Truthfully, though, and I'm always going to be on your backs, we really shouldn't be worried about tax loss harvesting for the majority of my audience, because we should be funding IRAs and work-sponsored plans up to the match. And you don't have to worry about tax loss harvesting in qualified plans. So if we're outside of qualified plans, if you have all of your up to the match employer-sponsored plans funded, then you have an IRA fully funded, you have zero credit card debt under 7%, over 7%, then we can talk about a taxable brokerage account and the proper steps to take there. With that being said, I want to talk about my personal Bitcoin journey. I had 2/3 of a Bitcoin last week. I have been doubling, averaging down. Bitcoin has been going down. As we speak right now, as this broadcast is going live with us right now, I have 1.12 Bitcoins. I feel like a champion. My cryptocurrency goal is 5 Bitcoins, and I am more than 20% there. I'm really, really geeked. One day when I'm sitting around and Bitcoin is trading at $500,000 a coin, I'll be living life. Now let's talk about Warren Buffett, transitioning to some of his comments about Bitcoin last week. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's partner. Let me start by saying, completely confident in my masculinity, I have a real man crush on Warren Buffett. He is that guy. If it wasn't for Warren Buffett, I probably wouldn't be in financial services. You guys know that I've done some bodyguard work. I've been around some very famous people. I've had dinner with Denzel Washington. I've had conversations with Michael Jordan. I've been around a lot of famous people. I have never asked for an autograph in my entire life. I'm sorry, that's a lie. Scratch that. I did ask for an autograph many, many years ago. I was working as a bouncer at the Phoenix nightclub in Philly. They opened the African American Museum across the street, and the ceremonial opening had Dizzy Gillespie as the trumpeter. And I got his autograph because I thought my grandmother, who had passed away already, would have been proud to know that I knew Dizzy Gillespie or met him. So I did ask for one autograph my entire life. So scratch that. But outside of Dizzy Gillespie, I've never asked anybody for autograph, no matter how famous they were. I was in Nebraska with a business colleague and friend of mine, shout out to Dr. Pam Jolly, doing a financial talk. And it just so happened that the Oracle of Omaha himself was in the lobby of my hotel. When I saw that he was in the lobby, he had a bodyguard and everything, because he's a billionaire and he needs a bodyguard. I was geeked, and I asked the bodyguard, could I get Warren Buffett's autograph? And he said, sure, he'd love to meet you. But Warren was taking too long. I had to bounce. I didn't get the autograph. But I want you to understand, before I say some critical things about Warren Buffett, how much I respect the man. I'm a fanboy to Warren Buffett. He's the man. He's genius. There is some truth that old dogs don't like learning new tricks, though. And with the advent of cryptocurrency and the way things are moving and the technology associated with it, there is no need for Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger to indoctrinate themselves into Bitcoin. no disrespect, but these cats will probably be dead in 20 years. Like they're, 80s, 85, 80, 90 years old. I don't know how old either one of them are, but they're older. And they make so much money doing things the way they do things. They don't have to learn about Bitcoin. They don't need to understand it. They don't want to understand it. Also, if you study Warren Buffett the way I've studied Warren Buffett, he likes investments for two reasons. Not just because they accumulate in value, but because they produce dividends, because they are always guaranteeing to grow either through accumulation or through actual cash that the company spits out. And I shouldn't use the word guarantee because nothing in the market is guaranteed, but he bases his investments on this twofold approach. That is one of the reasons why Warren Buffett is partaking in a practice that I am not a fan of, that took some cool points away from Warren Buffett. He is part of this. I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. He's part of this conglomerate, these machine companies that are out here buying up all of the American residential real estate and trying to grow the rental base, trying to turn America from a home ownership land to a home rental land. Because if you think about what his investment preference is, he likes income. He likes things that spit off revenue. He loves annuities, fixed annuities. He loves government bonds, things that will always guarantee to cut him a check or are designed to cut him a check. What is more consistent than rental revenue? People will pay for where they live before they do anything else. Do people default on their rent? All the time. People get evicted, they come up short, but he factors that percentage in. These companies factor the default risk of rents in. And even with the default rate factored in, owning these houses and raising the rents the way they are is producing a steady stream of cash. And his statement about Bitcoin was, it doesn't do anything. It won't give me any cash. He is 100% correct that it will not give him cash. Bitcoin will only go up through accumulation value. It is not designed to pay a dividend. So by design, he's never going to like Bitcoin. I think that we as a society, we are a soundbite society. We hear something and we run with it, even if we don't understand it. For someone who loves income streams and growth through dividends, you would pretty much guarantee yourself that this person would not like Bitcoin. They would not like any cryptocurrency. They would not like any asset that can only increase in value by accumulating. There is no other tangible functionality to get worth out of cryptocurrency other than someone else being willing to pay you more for it than you paid for it. That is what accumulation is. So although he could have chosen his words carefully, they say when you get older, you don't have to choose your words carefully. You don't give a damn what anybody thinks. And when you're a billionaire many, many times over, you're probably worse. You really don't care what anybody thinks. So as people say in our culture, he said what he said. And truthfully, I understand why he said it. He is not the reason that Bitcoin is going down so aggressively. The entire market is going down. The S&P 500, I think, for the year is down 17%. The cryptocurrency market's down 30, 35%. I am telling you, these are the times that we wish for when we are building a portfolio. So by all means, get your money right, put it into your portfolios, continue your dollar cost averaging, stay the course. This is the time. It'll probably get worse before it gets better. Remember, Big Tank told you that back in 2020 into 2021. It's going to be rough times, but stay the course. Please join me tomorrow night. We're going to wrap up The Cost of Love. I got 2 family law attorneys. These sisters are fire. And we're going to talk about prenups, divorces, child support, alimony, all of the things that palimony, all of the things that go on when you get love and your money gets involved. So please join me tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time on the Wealth Our Way page and on the Wealth Our Way network page for Financial Power Hour. And I think we're going to have a new intro video. So please stay tuned for that. I thank you all. Love you all. Can't wait to see you. Hope you had a great weekend and a great start to your week. Happy Mother's Day to all my mothers out there. Happy belated Mother's Day. And remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. You guys take care.